public access production. Comcast is required to provide time on this channel and make it available pursuant to franchise agreements with the communities we serve. Comcast is not affiliated with the following program or the producers of public access programming and is not responsible for the content. The following program does not reflect the opinions of Comcast or its affiliates.
Hello and welcome to the Tinley Park Chamber of Commerce cable TV show, which airs, as you may know, on the community channels on both AT&T and Comcast. I am the Chamber's cable show host, Joe Ficaro. I am on the current board of directors and a past president of the Chamber, and work with the Chicago Southland Convention and Visitors Bureau for membership development. And we're happy to have with us a veteran guest, a coach from Tinley Park High School, Greg Postweiler.
That's correct.
Who is the boys and girls tennis head coach, as well as a new guest, but not a new coach necessarily, from Tinley Park High School, Brian Gibbans, who is the head coach for boys baseball. Fellas, welcome to our show.
Thanks for having us.
Glad to have you.
Thank you.
And I know, baseball, tennis, two popular sports, not just with young people, but also with older people. And we won't mention who exactly, but rather than me taking up a lot of time, why don't we get right to who was going first?
I'll go.
Brian or
sure.
Brian? All right,
go.
Brian. Brian, why don't you tell us just a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into the program that
Sure.
you coach.
I'm actually the dean at Tinley Park High School. That's my first year at that job, but I've been at Tinley Park High School for, I believe this is my 8th year. I'm going into my 7th year as the baseball coach. I've been in the area for about 15 or 16 years. I taught at the middle school for 7 or 8 years before I came over to Tinley, and that gets me to where I am today.
Gets you to where you are today.
That's right.
What inspired you to go into this type of work?
I always knew I wanted to be a teacher. I always knew I wanted to be a coach. I truly enjoyed teaching for the 15 years that I did it. This dean's thing is a new thing for me, but it's different. It's stressful, but it's enjoyable.
It's stressful.
It can be
dealing with
students, parents, teachers.
I can imagine.
Yes, it is very interesting. Every day is different, but on the other hand, like I said, it can be a little crazy at times.
Okay, we won't ask you specific questions on what adds to that stress, because I mean any parent out there would know. All right,
I'm sure
some
they
of
would.
the things,
right?
But our children, our teenagers, are always angels when they're out of the house.
Of
Isn't
course.
that true?
Yeah.
Yes.
Out of the house and always they're always very well behaved at Tinley Park High School.
I would think so.
Always on perfect behavior.
They better be, right?
Absolutely, they're going to end up down by
Or we know
by
who will come down on them.
That's right.
Anyway, all right, so then we'll talk about the program, and then Greg, if you would just tell us, even though you've been on the show sometime in the past, tell us a little bit about yourself and the program that you work with.
Sure, absolutely. I am a teacher at Tinley Park High School. This is my 5th year with the school. Like Brian, I knew I wanted to go in teaching when I was in college, and am originally from the area, and I knew that I wanted to move back into the community and hopefully have an impact on the students within Tinley Park, and I was able to get that opportunity. While there, been involved in many different activities in athletics, looking toward the spring season. I'm the head boys coach as well as the head girls tennis coach at Tinley. So get to work with students in a variety of different ways. Not the ways that Brian gets to see them. But I get to send them down to Brian sometimes if we're having issues. So
as the dean.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. But it really is a great place for the kids to be. It's a great place to work because of the relationship that we've all developed as staff and faculty with the students, with the teachers, and the families around Tinley. So it's a great place to be.
Great. All right. So, Brian, tell us about the program, the baseball program, actually.
Baseball program, I've been involved, I believe I'm going into my 7th year. And I think, I'm surrounded by a great coaching staff. Most of my coaches have been with me for 5 or more years. And I think that we've really kind of, when I took the program over 7 years ago, there was, we had really nowhere to go. I mean, we put together some ideas, and we've really been moving forward with things. And it's a testament, like I said, not to me, but my coaches, and we've got really great kids. The kids that we deal with on a yearly basis are buying into what we asked them to do, and that took a while. But once we established, hey, this is how we're going to do things, the kids really bought into it, and they're working hard, and we're getting better every year. I mean, we've got a long way to go, but it is getting better every year, and that's really all we can ask for.
Okay, so how many students do you actually have in the baseball? Do you consider it a baseball program, or is it just the baseball team?
It's a program. We're made up of, on an average, we've got about 45 kids.
Well, that's a lot.
Over 3 levels. We do varsity level, sophomore level, and freshman level. And yeah, it's a program. I mean, we run them through, and we've got ideas on what we want to do with our freshmen, and then moving on to our sophomores, and then getting to varsity. So it's we've got a plan in place, and that plan is to get the most out of our kids and make them, if they want to play baseball at the next level, that they may have that opportunity. In the very least, we want to make them good, upstanding citizens, and we not only teach them the game, but we teach them, this is the right way to do things, and we're pretty proud of that.
Now, when you say the next level, that's the next level within the school, but also when they come out into a farm team, or what are some of the other things?
Yeah, within the program itself, we'll go. The freshmen are preparing to be sophomores, the sophomores are preparing to be on varsity. And then our varsity kids if they want to go, their next step more than likely would be going to college to play somewhere, whether it be a 2 or 4 year school. They could get drafted out of high school. We haven't had that. That would be great, because that would mean we'd have that kid that is able to do that. But that's, that does not happen too often.
I see.
If we make promises to our kids that if they want to play at the next level and they're willing to put forth the effort, then we'll do our best to get them somewhere to play.
Great. I was going to ask you if there were any stories of people who have moved on, but and done some great things that are playing for the White Sox or the White Sox.
We hope, because then
Cubs.
we could get ourselves the White Sox. We could then
Sox,
we'd love for them to come on back and help us out with everything. We do have a lot of kids that have gone on and have played in college or are still playing.
All right, and Greg, let's talk a little bit about tennis.
Absolutely. Brian's program with baseball is slightly larger, and with the tennis team, we have 2 levels, a JV and a varsity team, totaling anywhere from about 30 to 35 kids, which gets a little hectic. We have 6 tennis courts at Tinley, so you have a bunch of boys swinging around rackets, and we're trying to avoid any unnecessary collisions. But the one nice thing about all sports at Tinley, it seems, is that it's a small school, relatively speaking, I should say, and we know who our athletes are. All the teachers, the deans, administrators really work together to make sure that all sports kind of hone in on their skill set and make sure that all programs are successful. This is my 5th year as a coach. I'm looking forward to that, because this is finally something that I can see my players that I met as freshmen come in and grow as young men as well as players. We have several different tournaments that we've added to the schedule as we've kind of progressed in our skills, so that we can be more competitive, not just at a local level, but also kind of up towards the northern suburbs as well, kind of getting that exposure. So I'm looking forward to that, and it's been really fun to see the seniors, as they're coming in my door every day and say, hey, when are we going to start practice? When can we get condition? And that's something, at least from my perspective, that we haven't had in a while. So I'm glad to see that.
Fellas, thank you for being on our show, and it was some good information for the general public.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Well, our next guest is from Moraine Valley Community College, Gailmarie Ward, who is the Business Services Specialist. Gailmarie, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for
and
inviting me.
I know you've got something special that you want to promote.
Yes.
But before we get into that, let me ask you a little bit, if you would tell our viewers a little bit, tell me as well,
Okay.
a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into that information.
Okay. I started my career long ago in sales, and most recently I was working for a computer software firm, and I was downsized. And I went through what every typical professional person coming back into the market, anybody looking for a job, I was going through all of those emotions, things like that. So I was trying to find a way to market my skills, so to speak. And I was able to do that. I met some people that were able to get me into the education system. I also taught second grade for 6 years.
Oh, wow.
And I met some people who were very instrumental in me getting to Moraine. I've been at Moraine about 2 years. And I work with adults and I work with the youth programs. We have a Workforce Investment Act where it's my responsibility to get students job shadowing opportunities and get adults jobs.
Very good. All right, well, we'll be talking.
Okay.
Yeah, I graduated from Moraine, sometime in the past
yes.
as well. Great school, and it's really grown and developed and expanded. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
There's so much we don't have enough time as a
true.
single guest.
That's
maybe
true.
sometime we'll have more people and take up a show or something.
All right, okay.
At any rate, why don't you tell us specifically what you wanted to promote? Something to do with LinkedIn.
Something to do with LinkedIn.
And then we could talk about other things after that and then go back to it if we want.
Okay, that's wonderful. What I'd like to do is to invite your viewers to Moraine Valley on March 6th at 4:30 in the evening. And this program will last until 7 o'clock. Our guest speaker for the evening is J.D. Gershbein. And J.D. is a guru, I call him, of LinkedIn. So maybe you are a professional, or maybe you're trying to get back into the job market, and maybe LinkedIn has you a little bit worried. Well, J.D. Gershbein will definitely be able to answer any questions that you have so that you understand that LinkedIn is a tool. And LinkedIn is not something to frighten you. It is something to help you. So that will be March 6th, 4:30 to 7 at Moraine Valley in the Moraine Rooms, which is in Building M. And we are so looking forward to your audience coming. We ask that participants please register, and you can do that by calling Peg Heenan.
Say that again?
Peg Heenan,
Heenan.
H-E-E-N-A-N, and her number is 708-974-5312. And you can reach out to Peg, and she'd be happy to take your registration because we are close to our mark, so we'd like for everybody to register first.
And is there a fee for this? Did you mention?
It is free.
All right. Now, Gailmarie.
Yes.
Is there a site that they can go to
Yes,
at the
there
college
is.
or whatever? Why don't we give that so
Okay.
people, even though this is, as I said, short notice,
Yes.
even people at the last minute
Absolutely.
could call or whatever.
Absolutely. And here's the website. It is MVCC LinkedIn townhall.eventbrite.com. And registrations are being taken on that Eventbrite's site. Mm-hmm.
All right, so again, that's MVCC, LinkedIn, Town Hall, Eventbrite.com.
Mm-hmm. But townhall.eventbrite.com.
Okay. All right, so you make sure you put a dot between the Town Hall and the
Eventbrite.
Eventbrite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's another tool that you can use to register
Right,
people.
Eventbrite.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that familiar with it. Once again, as Gailmarie has said, you can contact Peg Heenan at 708-974-5312.
Absolutely.
So, Gailmarie, tell us a little bit what people might expect by attending something like this.
Well, what they can expect is that Mr. Gershbein, J.D. Gershbein,
right.
yes, will be there to answer every question that they might have. There might be some people that are kind of hesitant to get on LinkedIn. I talk to people every day, and some of them say, I don't know if I want that information online. And you have to understand that it's the best way to market yourself. So it allows you the opportunity to connect with others. Networking is very important in these days and this economy. It's not the same as it's been the past 10 or 15 years. If you want to get a job, you have to do things a little bit differently because there's so many people looking for a job. So you want to make sure you elevate yourself. And so LinkedIn is the tool that we are going to be highlighting on March 6th.
Okay. All right. So, J.D. Gershbein
Yes.
is going to give people the ins and the outs and help them navigate
Yes.
LinkedIn
Yes.
in order to utilize the different tools that are on that particular
Site, yes.
Site,
yes.
yes.
Absolutely. He's going to start from the very basic navigation tools to working your profile, to putting in keywords that people will look for, and tell you all about networking. I call it like a mushroom effect. You start with your connections or your circles of influence, and then the people you connect with become your first level connections, and then their connections become second level, third level, until next thing you know, you have over 1,200 connections like me.
That's great. Now, I hope this isn't a curveball, but for those people who, for one reason or other, missed that particular event, is there other programs at the school that they can access?
I am so glad you asked that question. Actually, I facilitate a workshop. It's called Social Media and Networking in the Job Search. And we offer that once a month at Moraine, at main campus. I also facilitate another workshop called Successful Interviewing Strategies. So I get to see those people out there, and I get to give them some information. If I can't give them anything else, I try to give them hope.
Very good. Well, we have just about a minute left in this segment.
Okay.
So is there, let's say, a parting message
There
that you
is.
would like to say to our viewers pertaining to the town hall meeting?
Absolutely. I'd like to, again, invite your viewers to come to Moraine March 6th, 4:30 in the evening till 7 o'clock. We will start at 4:30 with a networking opportunity, and then J.D. Gershbein is going to come and he's going to speak with everybody regarding LinkedIn and how they can use LinkedIn in order to market their skills and talents.
Gailmarie, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you,
It's been
Joe.
a pleasure having you, and this is really timely information.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Well, our next guest, someone who's been here before, but we're always glad to have with us from Easter Seals, Kelly Anne Ohde, who is the marketing specialist. Kelly Anne, welcome once again.
Thank you, Joe.
And seeing as how we don't have all night, and although we wish we did, because there's a lot of information that you could provide us with, why don't you briefly tell our viewers, those who don't know already, a little bit about yourself and how it is you went into this type of work.
Okay, so I started working for Easter Seals in 2004. I started working as a one-on-one aide for a child with autism, working in a classroom. I fell in love with the type of work that I was involved in. I finished my degree, my undergrad and graduate degree in marketing and communications, and came back to Easter Seals. I've been there now full-time for 5 years. I first started working with people with disabilities when I was 8 years old. So I've been working with them, volunteering, all sorts of things like that since I was a child. So I really enjoy that work and enjoy working at Easter Seals.
Gosh, to be with that type of work from 8 years old,
Yeah.
you must love it then.
I do. It is truly my passion. It's a great organization.
It certainly is. All right, so the purpose for our getting together is to inform people as much as possible about the different programs.
Sure.
And so if you would, tell us about the services, and then maybe our listening and viewers will benefit a little bit more from the
Okay.
programs that you have.
Sure. So Easter Seals Metropolitan Chicago, we serve roughly 30,000 clients in the Chicagoland and Rockford regions. We provide services for people with disabilities and special needs. So our services range from anywhere to therapeutic schools for children and adults with autism or other disabilities. We have 3 of those, one in Rockford, Chicago, and then of course one here in Tinley Park. We also provide adult services. We have a program here in Tinley Park as well for individuals with disabilities that are aging out of the school district, the school age individuals. We also provide services for early intervention. So we have 2 programs, one based here in Tinley Park and one in Chicago. We provide services for babies from birth to 3 years old. We also provide services. Our recent and newest program is military and veterans. So it's a big push from Easter Seals as a national organization. So nationally, there's a huge need for military and veteran services. So we just launched a program at our Oak Park location benefiting that population and also their families. So we're really excited about that opportunity. So our services range a lot, everything from autism to disabilities and other special needs, and then of course the families that are involved as well.
All right, now I know there's Easter Seals Chicago,
Sure.
but do you work primarily with Easter Seals in the Tinley Park location?
Yep.
Or
So that's a part of our affiliate is Easter Seals Metropolitan Chicago,
Okay.
and Easter Seals here in Tinley Park is a part of that. So those programs would be the Autism Therapeutic School, Adult Vocational Program, we have Early Intervention Program, and then Harry's Buttons is a business that was donated to us by a family that has a son with autism, and we work with our young adults here in the area and providing job opportunities for them. So in Tinley Park and the surrounding suburbs, we provide services for about 2,000 individuals
Okay.
and their families.
You mentioned Harry's Buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an event coming up
Yeah.
with Harry's Buttons? Why don't you tell
There
us a
is.
little bit about that?
Actually, it's really exciting. Harry's Buttons is celebrating its 10th anniversary in 2014. It's a huge milestone for Harry's Buttons. The business was started in the basement of a family's home in 2004, and now we have 2 locations, looking to expand to a 3rd, and providing job opportunities for 50 individuals with disabilities. So to celebrate our 10th anniversary, we're having an event called Buttons for Autism. It's on Saturday, April 12th, and individuals can volunteer to help us collect donations at intersections and local businesses in Tinley Park. The opportunities are from like 10 in the morning till 6 at night, and we did it last year. We had great success. The Tinley Park community is always very supportive of Easter Seals and what we do. So the event is called Buttons for Autism, and for every donation we collect, people will receive a button and information about Easter Seals and how they can get involved.
Very good. Now, before we run out of time, which we still have some time left, why don't we give some contact information?
Sure.
So if people need that, they can get a little additional.
Absolutely. So if anyone has any questions about Easter seals in general, I'd be happy to answer them. Our number here in Tinley Park is 708-802-9050, and you can ask for me, Kelly Anne Ohde, for just information about the programs, or if anyone wants to volunteer. Our website for Easter seals is eastersealschicago.org. And then Harry's Buttons also has its own website, which is harrysbuttons.com.
Okay, you heard it. The number is 708-802-9050, and simply ask for Kelly Anne Ohde. That's O-H-D-E.
That's correct.
Right? Okay. All right, so we talked about the services. Boy, that's a lot of services.
It is.
And there are a lot of people out there that need that.
Absolutely.
Besides Harry's Buttons, how else do they raise funds to support the programs?
We do a lot of different things. We have corporate sponsors that partner with us. We receive donations, and we have events like Buttons for Autism, things of that nature. We also heavily rely on grants, both through corporate and foundations, but also through government grants as well, help fund a lot of our programs. So our funding sources come from all over the place. That's critical in us to provide the best services that we possibly can in these communities that we serve.
Certainly. And I think earlier you had mentioned something about hoops.
Hoops, yes.
Yes.
Hoops for Autism is another community event we're having here in Tinley Park. April is Autism Awareness Month.
Right.
So we try to spread as much awareness all the time, but specifically in April. So we invite people in the community, business people, families, to join us on April 16th at our school here in Tinley Park. We're having a Hoops for Autism event, which we partnered with Senator Michael Hastings last year. He kicks off the event with us. It's a great opportunity for people to learn more about what we do, get a chance to interact with our staff and our students and clients that we serve, and just have some fun. We do all sorts of adapted types of basketball, cheerleading, singing. It's really it's a really fun time. So.
Now, we didn't discuss it before. Is there a summer event coming up?
We're still working on that.
Are you?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
We'll see.
Because I know I participated in one of those.
Yes, you did.
And it was really a lot of fun.
It is.
And heartwarming to see the clients or
Thank you. Yeah.
that are benefiting from the
Absolutely.
programs. Now, you've mentioned a couple of times it's on Oak Park Avenue. But what's the address? So
the address of our Tinley Park facility is 17300 Ozark Avenue, and for those that are familiar with the area, that was a former Kirby school. That's where we are.
I didn't realize that, but
Yeah.
yes. Well, we have about a minute left in this segment. Is there anything in particular that you would want to inform our viewers?
Just that Easter Seals is here to help. We provide help, hope, and answers for as many people as we can. And if people are interested in getting involved, I encourage them to contact us at the Tinley Park location. If they want to volunteer for Buttons for Autism, it's April 12th, and they can call 708-802-9050 and get involved in any of our events, or just come for a tour to see what we do.
Great, Kelly. Thank you very
Thank
much
you
for
so
being
much
a guest on our show.
for having me.
You've heard it. If you need to get in touch with any of our other members of the Chamber, we're at 708-532-5700 or tinleychamber.org.
Discover Tinley Community Expo will be held April 5th, 2014 at the Tinley Park Convention Center, 183rd in Harlem from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Southland's finest community expo is free to the public and allows the visitors to view exhibits from local businesses, professionals, nonprofits, churches, fraternal groups, and local government. Looking for a doctor, a bank, a real estate professional, or someone to fix your windows, pave your driveway, or help with furthering your education? You can find all of these things while enjoying the entertainment and food samples from local restaurants. It's a family event with face painting, balloons, and inflatables for the children, so mark your calendars now. If you wish to participate in Discover Tinley, you can download an application for participation at tinleypark.org or call 708-444-5444. Leave a message and we will get back to you. We hope to see you there April 5th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.